Made a decision on the healthcare exchange, and we have done that. But I'm going to tell you, I've never seen a government program that is so, I wouldn't even say chaotic. I mean, you have to have some kind of organization to be chaotic. And they're not even to the chaotic stage yet. That's how bad that it is on a federal level. I've said this before. You'd think that in November, when Obama got reelected, he would have had his staff, his departments ready to go with this. I think they were as surprised that Obama got reelected as I was, because nothing has been done. We had a deadline on the whole exchanges, and there's no doubt in my mind you have these healthcare exchanges that people can buy into and get their health care and things pool. Ironically enough, exchanges themselves are a conservative idea, that you let the free market work and you allow the different insurance companies to compete for businesses that'll drive down the price and have a better product. That's not the way these work. They have so much government red tape, so much restriction, there's no competition. And so, but I have no doubt in my mind that we as a state have proven this, that we can run anything, I mean anything, better than the federal government can. But give me the rules, I want to see the rule book, how's this going to work, then we make a logical decision. We sent pages and pages of questions to Kathleen Sebelius and the Obama administration and got no answers, so we didn't have a choice but to say, federal government, here you go. Now we got into the second part of this is the Medicaid expansion. Right now we cover people up to 100% of poverty level on our Medicaid/TN care here in the state of Tennessee. Now, the federal government wants us to expand that through these expand our rolls to 138% of poverty. That'll add about 361,000 people to our TN care rolls here in the state of Tennessee. Now, the federal government for the first 5 years will pay 100% of this. And then after that it's 90%. Well, there's several problems here. First of all, we still don't know the rules and regulations on it. The federal government does not exactly have a good track record of keeping their word. They start out with 100%. Next year they say, if they're going to have to face the fact, folks, that they're borrowing $4 out of $10, one day that reckoning is going to come, and they're going to have to start cutting some programs, and then we're locked into this, and they only start sending 75% or 70%. What do we do then? Because it shouldn't be pushed down onto the states. So, you know, the common sense would kind of tell you if it's a federal money, it's free money. Keep in mind, it's still our money, okay? It's like there's some pot in the sky it falls out of. It comes out of mine in your back pocket, folks. Any way you look at it, that's the first problem. The second problem is, I mentioned a minute ago, 4 out of 10 of those dollars are borrowed. If they were cutting somewhere else in federal government so we could pay for this, I might be able to live with it a little bit more. But sure, they can pay 100% because they don't have to write the check. They just borrow more money. And my grandkids, one day, will end up paying for this. So this is a huge decision we have to make. And the governor right now, again, is negotiating with the Secretary of Health and Human Services, Kathleen Sebelius, to see if we want in blood. I mean, slit your wrist and put them together to make sure that if we're paying 100%, it stays 100%. If they cut, we can cut. That's not plain right now. If we go back to 80%, then we cut 20% off the rolls. Even that sounds good on paper. Try doing it. You're taking health care away from 20% that already had it. So all this is up in the air right now. A huge decision. The good thing about it, we don't have to make a decision anytime soon. The U.S. Supreme Court, in their ruling back in the summer, said that one of the things they did say is that the states do not have to expand their Medicaid rolls. There's been about half a dozen states with Republican governors who just said no, that's the easy way to do it. Just say no, that's easy. But there have been a few with Republican governors that had said yes. I think they made a major mistake. I think we all stick together. The governor talks about this too. There's 36 Republican governors. If we go as a whole and say we're going to do this, but we want to be able to charge co-payments, we want to be able to limit emergency room visits, on and on and on, the way we can get something. If they start picking them off one at a time, then we're sitting out there alone. But that's one of the biggest decisions we're going to have to face anytime soon. So I'll end with that and go to questions. I want to say thank you all for what you do too, man. The reason I think the Republican Party is so successful is because of the Republican women's groups and other groups that are willing to get out there and do that hard work. I think we're much more organized, much more motivated than the other side. It's amazing to see how far we've gotten. If you'd have told me In 2002, first of all, if you told me when I was a little kid I'd be lieutenant governor one day, I thought you were smoking dope or something. I'd never believe that. But now I'm lieutenant governor, I would never believe we'd ever get to 26 to 7. There's a couple more, by the way, out there. We're not done yet, okay? There's a couple more we can get to. So, but it is an interesting process. So thank you all for what you do, and I will open up for